Chapter 154. Vomit blood out of anger. Translator, Skypharaoh editor, Skypharaoh. Gu Yuemo Chen's heart was very heavy. He had planned to recruit Fang Yuan, but stopped himself due to Fang Yuan's aptitude. But now his old rival, Gu Yue Qilian, actually got affiliated with Fang Yuan already. All the evidence points to Qilian providing support for Fang Yuan since over a year ago. Now his investment had received such a great reward, and the Qi faction has a new clan elder. How can his heart not be heavy? Except, other than solemnness, Mo Chen was also confused. He was Gu Yue Qilian's old rival, having competed since they were young. He had such a good understanding of his rival that he even knew what color of underwear his rival liked to wear. Logically speaking, Gu Yue Qilian would have started gloating by now, throwing mocking and smug glances towards Mo Chen. But right now his face was grim, like he had suffered an injustice. This was too strange. Just what had transpired between him and Fang Yuan? What sort of agreement did they reach? Gu Yue Mo Chen could not get an answer. This Fang Yuan, his guts are greater than the heavens. To think he would actually threaten me. Gu Yue Qilian's heart was filled with anger and perplexity. Last night, Fang Yuan had secretly approached him and used the matter of Gu Yue Qicheng's fake aptitude to threaten him. Heavens! How did this important secret that only he, Gu Yue Qilian, and his grandson Qicheng knew about, come to the knowledge of this outsider Fang Yuan? Gu Yue Qicheng was only a C-grade talent, but for the sake of the Qi faction's benefits, Qilian had to take a risk and show a facade of Qicheng being B-grade. If this matter was exposed, its impact towards the Qi faction would be unforeseen. The Qi faction family head's integrity would be questioned for his cheating personally, and this would ruin his reputation completely. More importantly, the Qi faction inheritor is only a C-grade. This means that the Qi faction would have no political outlook anymore. Who would be dumb enough to rely on this type of faction? Ano's Fang Yuan knowing this secret was equivalent to grasping the fatal weakness of the Qi faction. When Fang Yuan threatened him, Gu Yue Qilian almost couldn't control himself from attacking and eliminating this threat on the spot. But he forcefully stopped himself, as he did not know who else got a hold of this secret, and whether Fang Yuan told anyone or left behind any paper evidence at some secret location. Pacify him first, understand the situation, then eliminate him. I cannot leave this threat hanging. That was his thought at the time. But soon after that, Fang Yuan displayed his rank 3 cultivation. Qilian, while shell-shocked, could only change his plan to cooperation. Rank 3 is a clan elder, and if he murdered a clan elder, this matter would just be as serious as cheating. Furthermore, fighting against a rank 3 Gu master would take some time, and the commotion it creates is even harder to deal with. Falling out with Fang Yuan would not have any benefits for the Qi faction. In fact, the risk was even greater. Although Fang Yuan has a hold on me, a shared secret is also a form of collaboration. Finally, Qilian could only convince himself to comfort his heart. Fang Yuan's threat was so sudden, so he could not tell how many safety nets Fang Yuan had in place. Thus, he could only go along with it. But now, Fang Yuan fearlessly implicated him, letting him attract the attention in Fang Yuan's place. It was really throwing him under the bus. However, even if Gu Yue Qilian knew this, what could he do? This time, Fang Yuan slowly spoke again. Gu Yue Yaoji, I know your heart is in a mess now. Yes, that B-grade talent granddaughter of yours is dead, and without a proper corpse, your medicine faction is now without an inheritor. But a C-grade talent like myself advanced to rank 3 instead. So you feel anxious and indignant. Thus your fury is directed at me. I understand that. What did you say? Gu Yue Yaoji stared widely, uncontrollable anger rising. You little wretch, I'm telling you Yao Lei is not dead. Fang Yuan laughed loudly, shrugging nonchalantly. Her matter of life or death, what does it have to do with me? Yao Ji, you don't have to emphasize that. But, he suddenly twisted. Gu Yue Yaoji, in order to find your granddaughter, you assembled search parties and wasted much human and material resources. That concerns me, the clan elders here, and even the clan leader. Gu Yue Yao Ji letting you lead the medicine hall. That is because of our trust. But what have you done? You dispatched the medicine hall's healing Gu masters out to search for your granddaughter, leaving those injured and crippled Gu masters in distress. You are too selfish. Yao Lei's sacrifice. It is indeed the clan's loss. But you further worsen our loss. You are not fit to be our medicine hall clan elder at all. Fang Yuan's words hit the nail on the head, tearing at Yao Ji's weakness, her pain. But what he said was very true. Upon hearing Fang Yuan's words, many clan elders started frowning secretly. Whose faction did not have injuries? Gu Yue Yao Ji's actions were indeed overboard, dispatching Gu masters on her own and not attending to the urgent business at hand, but instead searching for her granddaughter. You! Gu Yue Yao Ji was so angry her body was trembling, her finger pointing to Fang Yuan, unable to say another word. Her eyes were like glowing fire, having a strong urge to strangle this bastard Fang Yuan on the spot. Fang Yuan's gaze was cold and indifferent, staring at her with no fear. He was returning the favor to her. Gu Yue Yao Ji's earlier words were all righteous and caused the many clan elders to get curious about Fang Yuan's secret to advancing, causing a huge commotion. Fang Yuan's words were the same, and with reason backing him, standing at the highest point of the clan rules, it caused the clan elders to subconsciously defend him. To the clan elders, protecting the clan's rules were akin to protecting their own interests. Gu Yue Yao Ji's actions these days did infringe on their interests. This Fang Yuan bastard, fucking bastard! Gu Yue Yao Ji shuddered, not knowing that Gu Yue Qilian was also angered to the point of fuming. Fang Yuan was offending Gu Yue Yao Ji to the limit, and her hatred towards him will also spill to the Qi faction since Fang Yuan was now a part of them. But the truth was, Qi faction is innocent. Was he, Gu Yue Qilian, a fool? Why would he offend Gu Yue Yao Ji, who is the most senior and has the greatest social network? Gu Yue Qilian subconsciously shrunk his body, praying in his heart, may the other clan elders not direct the attention to himself. Fang Yuan doing this is his own idea. It has nothing to do with the Qi faction. But Fang Yuan's next sentence broke this illusion of his to smithereens. He turned around and reported to the clan leader, Gu Yue Bo. Clan leader, I highly doubt Gu Yue Yao Ji's ability to continue leading the medicine hall. I suggest we temporarily revoke her title of medicine hall clan elder and hold a thorough assessment of her. Each one of the clan's healing Gu masters are precious to us. We cannot let her waste them like this. Otherwise, the ones that suffer the most are the brave Gu masters that fight using their lives for our precious clan. Pausing momentarily, he continued, this suggestion of mine, Elder Qilian is also very supportive of. What? Gu Yue Yao Ji's iris shrunk as her face changed colors. What? The clan elders were all taken aback. To hear of Gu Yue Qilian's forthright attitude like this, does it mean that he was unhappy with Yao Ji from long ago and has been lusting after the huge benefits in her possessions, wanting to get a piece of the pie? What? As the person in question, Gu Yue Qilian nearly jumped from his seat. How could he not be angry? He was going to go crazy from Fang Yuan's antics. This Fang Yuan had not only offended Gu Yue Yao Ji, he even dragged him into the boat. His original political intent towards the medicine faction was closeness and cooperation, but now his efforts were all thwarted by a single sentence from Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was framing and harming him, in front of the person himself, framing, harming, and spreading false rumors. But he, Gu Yue Qilian, the Grand Qi faction family head, was held hostage by Fang Yuan and had no way to fight back. Oh, Elder Qilian, you support this? Gu Yue Bo's gaze shone as he asked. Gu Yue Qilian gritted his teeth, slowly getting up. He stiffened his neck, resisting the urge to look at Fang Yuan. He was afraid he could not control his rage. At this point, he can do nothing to Fang Yuan and can only carry on the show. Revoking Yao Ji's title, this is Fang Yuan's sole idea. With the threat of the wolf tide, suddenly changing people is not appropriate. However, I do agree that Elder Yao Ji has deviated from the role of the healing Gu Masters due to her personal feelings. If these efforts were placed into the right areas, it would reduce our clan's loss to a great extent. Saying so, his heart was bleeding. He would definitely not follow through with what Fang Yuan said, as he had his own interests in mind. These words he had already exerted the greatest effort to find a balance between Fang Yuan and Yao Ji. But even so, after he finished speaking, he heard a thump. He turned his head around and saw that Gu Yue Yao Ji had vomited blood out of her intense anger and fell on her back. "It's over! I've completely offended Yao Ji." At this moment, Gu Yue Qilian felt like he had fallen into a chasm, his heart icy cold. "Lord Yao Ji, someone quickly diagnose her. She just lost consciousness. It's not an emergency." Lord Yao Ji had not rested at all for these 3 days and 3 nights. Her body and mind is exhausted and needs to rest. The hall was in a mess, but slowly quietened down. Gu Yue Yao Ji was carried away by a stretcher. She was already old and had worried for so many days. With a weakened heart, now that she was triggered by both Fang Yuan and Xilian, adding on to her misery, it was no wonder that she fainted. Lord Yao Ji had led the medicine hall for so many years. She had worked hard for so long. She is truly tired. Letting her rest is also for her own good. Now that she is unconscious, the medicine hall cannot be without a leader. "I advise that we let Fang Yuan take over," Gu Yue Qilian suddenly said. This old man stood before his seat. Seeing Gu Yue Yao Ji being carried out, his eyes shone coldly. Since he had already offended her, then why not go the entire way and continue the mistake? To prevent the medicine faction's revenge, he might as well suppress them entirely. This is someone in power, the resolve and wisdom of an expert in politics. The hall fell into temporary silence. Yao Lei's death, Yao Ji's downfall, it showed that the medicine faction was on an imminent decline. The cruelty of politics is even more heartless than the wolf tide. Fang Yuan was silent as well. Letting him be the medicine hall clan elder, hey, Gu Yue Qilian was only saying it casually. Letting a newly advanced young clan elder to hold such an important role. Maybe if the clan elders and clan leader were all retarded. Gu Yue Qilian saying this intentionally had deep meaning. As expected, in the next moment, Gu Yuebo declared, "The medicine hall's role shall temporarily be held by Elder Qizhong. Fang Yuan's cultivation has indeed reached rank 3. Thus, according to the clan rules, he shall also assume the role of clan elder. Send out the news and let the entire village rejoice." Saying so, Gu Yuebo stood up and left. "Congratulations! Congratulations!" After the clan leader left, the clan elders all walked towards Fang Yuan, cupping their fists with faces full of smiles. Fang Yuan cupped his fists as well, replying with a warm smile.